Okay. Hello and welcome to our broadcast. I don't like the intros. All right, Chris and I are on today to do another weight loss talk. And this is the one that's going to go on my channel. And then there's going to be one that I will link that'll go to her channel. So, but this is my friend Chris. We've known each other since high school. And she and I are going to do, go ahead, Chris, tell them about yourself.
Hello, my name is Christy Mazer. I am 38. I am on a quest to lose, I didn't plan on this, about 180 pounds total. I started at 327 pounds and I am down to 237 pounds. What?
Woohoo!
I'm slightly socially awkward, as you're about to find out.
Yeah, well, we just realized we don't have editing right now. So yeah, this is all like raw footage. I did get up to 403 pounds, giving birth to my second child, my daughter Lily. And we went back to the doctor and I was down to 398. And then I went back to the doctor again and then lost another 12 pounds and then 2 pounds. So it's coming off slowly. I have to go slow because I'm still breastfeeding, but I'm working on it. You see my new treadmill back there? I love it. I love it a lot. Okay,
So what's our topic?
Our topic on this one today is going to be about the being plus size and dealing with the medical professional field. For me, it kind of seems, and I'll start it. Do you find that it's easier to talk to a nurse or a doctor when they come in the room and they're already obese?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. My dentist is plus size. And I immediately felt, and this is kind of crummy for me, I guess, but I immediately felt like a kinship with her because I wasn't about to judge her and I didn't feel that she was about to judge me. Now, I've had thinner and still, I mean, my primary doctor is, this big, but, so you don't have that almost, how do I phrase it? Like a shared affliction almost that
Right.
makes you immediately comfortable with that person. So yes, I do find it a lot easier, at least initially, to have a conversation with a medical professional who has a weight issue. Yes.
Right. Yep. I do. I also find an immediate kinship to the first doctor that doesn't jump to the assumption that any of my ailments are based on my weight. So like with my OBGYN recently for when I was having my daughter, the first thing that she jumped to, she said, most likely you're going to get preeclampsia because you had it before, not because you're overweight. It's just one of those things that happen, so the fact that she immediately jumped in and said, hey, don't take this as a bad thing. It's okay. It happens, but it's not always because of your weight. It was so refreshing to hear that. And I immediately started loving her because she said that.
I had with both of my pregnancies actually, and I had, 2 different doctors because I had Caleb in Phoenix and had Lachlan in Chandler. So I had two separate practices because I was in 2 different cities. Each one at 2 separate practices made me take the glucose test twice because they didn't believe that my negative result was accurate. And then both times I had to do blood sugar checks daily from 20 weeks is when they make you do that, up until I gave birth, just because of my weight alone. I was not diabetic. I did not have high fasting blood sugar or high, standard blood sugar. My blood sugars were normal and they remained normal throughout both of my pregnancies. And I know this because I personally had to check them every single day. So, yeah. There was no need for any of that. And the initial test, absolutely. A questionable result, okay, yeah, test me again. I mean, people do that,
Right.
but to do it strictly based on my weight was crap, and it happened twice.
Yeah, I when I gave birth to my son in Texas military hospital, they did that to me. It was constantly, well, this is wrong because you're overweight. This is wrong. This is wrong. My doctor here, even though my maternal age is older, and but she said as long as all my blood sugars came back normal, then I never had to do the 3 hour or the 1 hour or the, what is it?
3 hour.
Yeah. I didn't have to do that one with Lily. I never had to because my numbers were always right where they needed to be. Always.
Right.
So it was just really, it's so hard to find a doctor where their first instinct isn't, okay, well, there's not much you can do right now because you're so overweight or you're so obese. So we're just not gonna be able to do anything about that right now.
Right.
You're pregnant, there's things going on. And then and then have them say things like, when you're pregnant, control what you eat or don't gain any weight whatsoever.
Or lose weight.
Yeah, while you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay, like that's not healthy. I better gain some weight or else that means the baby is not gaining weight either.
Right. And if they want you to remain at a steady weight, that means you're still losing weight because the baby, the placenta, the fluid is taking up the slack essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's at least 10 to 15 pounds of what you put on before birth.
Yep.
So at least that.
At least that.
Yeah. Baby alone is probably, Lily was 6.5 pounds. So not counting.
Lachlan was over 8 pounds. Caleb was only 4, but still.
Yeah, I had with just with Lily, and I keep going back to this one because this is my most recent medical experience. When I gave birth to her, apparently they went out of their way to get me a bariatric bed because it was hospital policy. And because my weight was over a certain amount, that they had to put me in a bariatric bed. And this bed was designed for ICU patients. It wasn't designed for labor and delivery. And no, even and it was actually hurting me to be in this bed than helping me, because with these beds, because they're ICU beds, they're actually made with an inflatable mattress. And every few minutes they got to flush out the air and put new air in, so that way it keeps the blood flowing in the body and keeps it moving. Well, it's designed for somebody who's supposed to stay in bed for long periods of time. And I had just had a C-section, and then, everybody who knows who's had a C-section, you don't want to stay in bed for long periods of time. You need to get up, you need to get moving, you need to make sure your stuff is working, you need to go to the bathroom, you need to do this. And as a very large woman, to try to get in and out of that bed, I really felt like I'd actually pulled my stitches out just trying to get in and out of this stupid bed that they said was beneficial for me because of how much I weighed. And even though I came into the room, or when the nurses came in and I told them, I'm like, hey, this bed hurts me. It just hurts. I can't get up and I can't move. I can't do anything. And I'm feeling like I'm ripping my stitches. They said that there's nothing else because it's against policy. And I told them, well, screw it, then I'm going to sleep in your little hide-a-bed. And then they didn't like that either. So they ended up discharging a C-section patient home early because their bed couldn't accommodate me.
Right.
And it is embarrassing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I remember this is turning into a birth thing, but when I had Lachlan, I remember being in the operating room. I distinctly remember this. I was happy as pie that my husband wasn't in the room yet to, hear this embarrassment. Thank you, doctor. But to hear them tell each other, they weren't even speaking to me, but telling each other that they needed to have tape to tape my stomach to my shoulders so that they could access under my stomach fold, the apron or whatever it is. So they legit taped the bottom of my stomach. I had tape going up to my shoulders before they put the drape thing up. So, they don't let the husband come in until after everything's prepped.
Right.
So yeah, I'm sitting there thinking, I have tape holding my flab out of the way so that I can deliver my child. And now, obviously, this was a medical necessity, so it's not a damn you medical profession. It was more of a, I didn't need to hear that. you know, but at the same time, you don't get this size by hearing things like that. You get this size by avoiding things like that.
Yeah.
Things like the scale, things like the mirrors, things like the cameras, blah, blah, blah. But to hear it right then, you know, you're terrified. You're about to have your stomach cut open. You know, all the things that could go wrong are running through your head, and you hear, oh, we're going to have to tape her stomach up.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to what? And that's what they did. And then back to the weight issue. While they were, after they had delivered Lachlan, and my husband had gone with him to the nursery, so it was just me there. The doctor, who wasn't even my doctor, it was the doctor on call, was telling me, while mind you, I am on the operating table, to seriously consider whether or not another pregnancy was right for me because of my weight and scar tissue from how I heal because of my weight.
It's
like, if that's an issue, great. Suck, but great. That's not the time.
No.
And you're not my doctor. You know, discuss it or write notes, however you do your deal, and have my doctor discuss it with me, because I have a rapport with my doctor. I don't know you.
Right.
You don't know me.
You don't know me.
You don't know if you know, I'm recovering from an eating disorder. I'm not. But you don't know that. You know, and comments like that are strictly, I mean, my doctor never brought it up. I never heard of it again, you know? So it's like, are you just putting your 2 cents in, or what's the deal? Because A, that wasn't the time. And B, if it was a serious concern, then my OBGYN should have been the one to bring it up to me. And I never heard it ever again.
Yeah. Hold on just a second. Okay. We're okay.
I could see the dogs tearing behind you, so that's probably what it was.
Oh, okay. Well, I can hear them. They're playing, but they just can sometimes get aggressive. And Thor's got a little wound on his back leg from who knows. Getting into something, who knows.
Right.
So anyway, one of the things I was going to point out, since you brought up the whole taping of the stomach and all that kind of stuff, what about, and I think we might have slipped into what we don't like about the medical profession versus that's our fault and what they're doing. But
right.
Which is fine. Hey, that's just a whole nother topic of discussion another day.
Right.
But we're already here. What about having to go to your OBGYN checkups and then pass, like, we're going to say 15 weeks, because gosh knows that we're not going all the way up to 25 weeks. We're already way past this. But when you hit about the 15-week mark and you actually have to physically move your stomach yourself out of the way so that you can start getting your ultrasounds, so you can start getting, you know, where they can actually get underneath.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I never did it because I never had the chance to. It was always the ultrasound technician with the grab and pull, and then
yeah,
you know,
right.
I never. But I will say that act, being on that table and having because even my husband, I'm always like, oh, don't touch my stomach, it's awkward, you know. But having essentially a stranger grab your flab essentially and shift it aside so that they can access an area that should be accessible without assistance. Yeah, that's pretty darn awkward.
It is. And it's not like my belly or anything. It's very specifically that one little flab that just decides to hang over.
That's me too. Yeah. And I didn't have that until after I had Caleb.
Yeah, I can't see my hoo-ha. I can't see anything past there. Healing, I got so on both of my pregnancies. When you're overweight, you have to be, especially with a C-section, you have to be super, super careful on how you're healing. Yes. You know, it's embarrassing to have to go up to my husband and say, hey, I need you to check my wound. Yeah, and there was no other option. He had to. I'm not flexible enough to go check it myself. I'm not, and it's not what's one of those things where embarrassment had to take a back seat. I was beyond embarrassed the entire time. My face was bright red, and every time I go into the doctor, same thing. I'm like bright red because that's what they have to do. They have to move my stomach out of the way. They have to move it from where it's actually doing the overlay so that they can look at my incision to see if it's healing properly.
Right.
When you're obese, even if losing the weight, you're still going to have that kind of flab. But the act of having to move your stomach out of the way to do normal things is, oh my God, it's killer.
It is. And I'll tell you, again, sorry about the segue here, but that same skin issue, I still have it. I'm always going to have it unless I have it surgically removed, which I have zero plans to do. But medical issues aside, it is like the most in the way part of my body.
It is.
Like TMI, warning people now, sorry, Amber's followers, but when you have to go to the bathroom and shift things around yourself to make sure everything is taken care of downstairs,
your non-dominant hand reaches over, grabs it, has to move it up out of the way so you can put your hand.
See, I was trying to be discreet. You're all demonstrating.
Let me show you how it's done. Let me show you how. No.
Awkward.
Sorry.
But no, that kind of a situation is a reality. It is a reality, and I myself am uncomfortable with the whole having to move it around act. So to have a stranger like an ultrasound technician reaching down, grabbing your stuff, it's like, dude, that's like a third private. You don't touch that.
Oh my God. Buy me dinner first, and then
right? Like, I would be less uncomfortable if you were touching my business, okay?
You could be grabbing my butt, and I would not be near as embarrassed.
Yeah, exactly. That is sad to say. That is 100% true. I was less embarrassed having a vaginal ultrasound than I was having an abdominal ultrasound because of that.
Yep.
Everybody has the area, who's a woman, you have the area, so it's like they see that day in, day out. And to be completely honest, they probably see their fair share of large women as well.
Yeah.
But they don't see me every day. And it's like the number of people who have seen that part of me numbers 3.
I've seen it.
You're one of them. Dave's one of them.
No, there's more people than that.
No, there's not. No, I mean, since I had Caleb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, since I had Caleb. You've seen it. Dave has seen it, duh. And Shane. That's it. With the exception of my kids, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But as far as adults, people, that's it.
Other than the doctors and everybody else who don't need to see it. Well, they kind of have to see it, but
people that I am comfortable, and even that's a stretch, I'm less uncomfortable with than a stranger.
Yeah. Yeah, because that they're, and again, we're tying it all right back again with all the mental stuff that we were talking about, I think on your channel too, is that these are the things, while all this is getting done, they're probably just in there doing their job. They don't they could give 2 craps about what's really going on. They know you're a plus size. This is what they got to do to get it. As a medical person, I get that, but then you're laying there on the bed going, oh my God, is there a smell? Oh my God, what are they seeing down there? Oh my God, is there something that I don't know because I can't see down there?
Right.
They're going to move this big flap and this like monster's going to jump out at them or something. I don't know. That's what it feels like in your brain.
It does. Your brain makes it a lot worse than I'm sure it is. But it's fact, it is fact that there are things as plus size women that we have to deal with that other people don't. Now, it can be argued by jerks mostly, that you brought it on yourself and blah, 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 blah. But that does not make it any less real.
No.
You know, it does not make it any less awkward or shameful to have someone who you're supposed to be trusting with your health treating you like everything wrong with you is because of that. Is that Mr. Smith?
No, that's not Mr. Smith. I'm like, how is it not on me right now?
Because nobody can hear you.
Yeah, he's not there. I was covering and talking to my kids.
No.
Get out of the house!
Get out.
Get out!
Whip out that monster. That'll scare him out.
I gotta go with the blooper reel. Whatever. All right, well, since this video has gone for about 20 minutes, we probably should wrap it up. Again, we're very heated about these issues. This is the kind of stuff that we like to talk about. So we'll go on for like 2 hours and realize that nobody's watching anymore. So, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about?
No, I think we're pretty good. I mean, it's pretty universal that, you know, medical professionals are lacking in bedside manner. We'll call it bedside manner.
Yeah.
For plus size individuals.
It's awake. So I think this is something that Chris and I are going to try to do at least once a week, just to kind of get just give us a little place to vent while the kids are, playing. So, all right. So we will check in again next week, and I'm going to link my pages, or I'm going to link all this blog post to Chris's page so that you guys can go and check out her blog. She does a lot of amazing things, but you definitely have to go check out her photography. Her photography is so cool. Her macros are my favorite. I love her macro shots. Any of my followers in Minnesota, definitely look her up. She is booking clients.
Oh, stop.
plug. All right. So thank you again for being on my show, and we will do it next week.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.